Welcome to Nolan's Playhouse. Dun-dun-dun. It's the Axis and Allies. G40 out of the box. SZ7 reloaded. After 10 rounds. Yes, the war is over. It is over. With the Axis coming up on top. Good going, Warden and Boy Pig. Couldn't have done it without you. You too, Dutch. If you would have lost, I couldn't have done it without you either. Oh boy. Oh well. We've been playing out of the box the last two times because I wanted to prove to Dutch, mainly, that this game can't really be, out of the box can't really be won by the Allies. Come on. At least 90 something percent of the time. But he'll still be stubborn and says they can still win a good chance, my foot. But 90 something percent of the time that the Allies will lose in out of box. If you have going against two equal opposing sides. And the Allies have everything stacked against them in this out of box version, man. You do. I mean, you gotta be almost perfect with your moves. You're communicating with your allied partners, and hope that the Axis will make some kind of mistakes. We didn't make too many blunders in this game as the Axis. Probably make a couple of minor mistakes myself. I mean, War Pick won, but that was very minor. Really didn't affect the outcome of the game. And I think Warden, he really didn't make any mistakes in this game. One maybe, and I can't even say even one he made. But we won, yeah. So with the Warden, he captured London. He held it for a few rounds too. Quite a few rounds, in fact. In round 9, the Americans just got it back. I think that the Germans captured in the 3rd round. They held it for what, 5-6 rounds, and they captured Moscow finally too. That was a nail in the coffin for the Allies. So they surrendered, and you can't blame them. And let's see, War Pig, he held his own. At least he didn't give up Italy. And he's been helping with some can openers in the Eastern Front too. In fact, yeah, his forces were very proficient in capturing Moscow. That can opening in Volgata. Oh, stay with me. I captured Calcutta. It was costly, but it was worth it. And at the time, it captured most of all China at the time. But as you see, the Russians are coming in to capture the rest of them, and they split their forces to China and further into the Eastern Front. And this is their forces right there in Bryansk, it is, or the other one. So he split his forces. Oh, so that allows Moscow to be captured. Hooray! Hooray! And I still have the bulk of my air force. It's not in Mongolia, but it's in the market in Burma. And that helped me capture Calcutta as well. And Crockett's Americans, like I said, they just took over London. And they left the Pacific front pretty much bare. Just really building up in Hawaii. While helping out sometimes in Australia too. But I went all out into mainland Asia. Warren says I was too slow at it, but it worked. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Prozac, I tell you what he did. Oh boy. He messed up. That was a major mistake, leaving Moscow unattended and splitting his forces like that. But he'll learn better next time. Either way, if he kept Moscow, I think Axis would have won. Japanese would have gone in Australia or Hawaii, maybe San Francisco too, maybe. Yeah, let's see who else was playing this game. Oh yeah, Dutch Lancaster. Yeah, he lost both London and Calcutta as the British. Oh boy, how could you? How could you, Dutch? Oh boy, it just proves my theory that boss can't really be won by the Allies 90-something% of the time. But as always, when I do my recaps of the war is over, I go down the line like IPC unit losses for each nation. So let's do that. Let's see. Number one. Number one is the British. They lost the most amount. They lost what? Dutch is leading them most of the time. 611 IPCs in unit losses. Ay, 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 mamacita. Oh boy. Let's see. The British lost about 54 in infantries, 8 artilleries, 4 mechs, 4 tanks, and they leading in the pack among all the nations, losing 12 AA guns. Oh boy, most of them was in Calcutta. 12 AA guns they lost. They lost what? 5 transports, a Saab, and they lead in the pack among all the nations and losing 6 destroyers, and also leading the pack in cruisers, losing 5 of them, and also 3 battleships they lead in the pack of all the nations too. Lost 7 fighters, a couple of dive bombers, a bomber. Yeah, let's see what they lose. They lost about 4 in convoy losses. Right there. And now for the Wardens. Germany, he lost about 587 IPCs to go into the 500 club, just barely missing the 600 club like the British did. Let's see what they lost. Well, they lead the pack in losing 57 infantries, the most of all the nations. Also a lot of artillery too. But they're not leading the pack. You know, they lost 10 of them. But they're leading the pack in mechs lost. In this war, they lost 13 mechs. Lost 6 tanks, 1 A gun, 7 transports, but not leading the pack. In fact, they're tied for second. Well, they're leading the pack in subs lost. 8 subs lost. A couple destroyers, cruiser, and a couple of actually also leading the pack in aircraft carriers lost too. You know, they still have an aircraft carrier right there, a third one that wasn't destroyed yet if the Allies surrendered. So they're leading the pack in AC's lost. What else? Lost a battleship, 5 fighters, a couple of dive bombers, and they're leading the pack in convoy losses. 24. Oh, not Warden's favorite show. 24. 24 in convoy losses. That's mainly in the Isle of Brit. See, Crockett's U.S. fleet was convoying the heck out of him. 24 lost IPCs, and then they lead the pack in factory damage repairs in 6. There's only one really had repaired factories, but it wasn't even in their own. It was in Leningrad, but he had to do it. And so third leading the pack. IPC losses, unit losses, is Crockett 36, 420. For his Americans. Let's see what they lost. It lost 18 troops, couple artilleries, 3 mechs, a tank. But they lead the pack in 11. 11 transports lost. A couple subs, 4 destroyers, a carrier, battleship. And 7 fighters, and leading the pack in 6 dive bombers lost, and a couple bombers. So they lead the pack in aircrafts lost in this war here. So let's go for my Japan. Japan! See, I lost what? 392, just missing the 400 mark. Like Crockett couldn't do. Let's see what I lost. I lost what? 37 troops. I lead the pack in artillery's loss. I lost 17 artilleries. Most of that was in Calcutta, the battle for Calcutta. I lost 3 mechs. I'm leading the pack in tanks lost 2. I lost 10 tanks. Because I'm brave! I'm tied for second in transports lost with 7, a couple of subs, destroyer. I didn't lose any of my main ships. 6 fighters and a bomber lost. Let's go for Prozac. See who he lost for his Russia. He lost 286 IPCs, units losses for the game. Let's see what he lost. For Russia, he didn't lose much in forces. He lost 20, 30, 33 infantry, 4 mechs, 6 tanks, and of course all his name in 2 subs and a cruiser. But he lost a lot in his air force, mainly in defense. He lost 7 fighters, dive bomber, and a couple of bombers too. Needlessly. Alright, let's see who else. War Pig! He's a pig for war. Let's see what he lost. Lost 150 in IPCs. Going down the line. Lost 17 troops, 4 artilleries, 6 mechs, all 3 of his tanks, 3 transports, a sub, a couple destroyers and a couple of cruisers, and his battleship, of course, and even his bomber. He bravely lost it trying to bomb Moscow. Of course, if his rolls, sad sack rolls, he gets shot down. Oh well. But it wasn't a game breaker. Let's go for the Anzacs. Also led by Dutch. What did they lose? They lost 146 IPCs. Just behind the Italians. Let's see what they lost. They didn't lose much in ground units, because with his puppy dog strategy he'd been playing all game. He lost 8 troops, a couple of transports, a sub, 3 destroyers, a cruiser, and 3 fighters. But he leads the pack for the Anzacs in 3 bombers. 3 bombers for the Anzacs? Come on. Because that wasn't wholly Dutch's fault. I mean, he did have to leave the game at the end. But he'll take the blame for it anyways, because he was the Anzacs initially. Let's see now for the French, also led by Prozac. They lost 111 IPCs for French. And they lost their usual 12 infantry, 3 artillery, tank, AA gun, Only lost one of the half their destroyers, a couple of cruisers, and a couple of fighters. Yeah, let's see who else. Crockett's China. He lost what? 109 to be dead last. And IPC unit losses. Lost. What did they lose? 28 troops, and they're only flying tiger, needlessly. So let's take a moment and commemorate all the fallen plastics. I know, terrible, but the instrument I have to be working with. Oh boy, but that was a great war. Oh boy. Oh, the fallen plastics. But, so I hope you enjoyed it, if you're able to watch any of it. And our next game with me, it's going to be, I'm going to be doing my, what do you say, my expansion enhance of G40, my house rules, concerning this game. I hope you will watch it. We're going to play it somewhere within the week. I already got 3 people lined up to play. Let's see. There's me. 3 definite people. There's me, Crockett 36. Those are definites. And also Jamay. He hails from Europe. I think he's from the Netherlands too. I'm not sure. Jamay's going to play with us. His first YouTube game, I believe it is. That'd be great. And hopefully I get about 3 more. I'd like to get 6 lined up. I think there's someone else on the WhatsApp chat was supposed to play. I forgot. His name doesn't come to mind right now. But General Fun, hopefully he'll be able to play. He said he would, but currently he is in a global game right now, so I don't know if he can play. I'm gonna at least 2 or 3 more. Between 1, 2, or 3 more to play this game. So ideally I like to get 6 to play. So if you just go down to my channel, my playlist under customizations and house rules, and you'll see of all the what I'm proposing. I have videos, I think about 8 videos explaining my house rules. They're all around a half hour each. So about 4 hours of enjoyment. And in the first video, I'll have the rules set down in the comment section. Although I'm going to change a couple of them, I think I'm going to change the bombers and also the dive bombers. Considering that I think I'll change those, tweak them, or just get rid of them. What I'm proposing for bombers and dive bombers. So I hope you'll be able to see that. Hey Dutch, I'm under 20 minutes. How about that? So stay tuned next. When you hear me next, you won't see me, but you'll hear me. And so for my expansion enhanced G40 house rules, or XEG40, as I like to call it. Yeah, so that's it. So I'm under 19 minutes. How about it? Hear that, Dutch? Don't live it out.